So I have to apologize. I know it's been 3, 4 weeks since I dropped my last video, um, and it's a reflection of a bunch of stuff. And one of them, of course, is the fact that I really didn't feel that great. Not in some huge dramatic physical sense, but just in terms of the process, the stage that I was in the process, and also the accumulation of the effects of the medication. It's just both my head and body were not in the best of shape. By the way, what you see in front of you is our attempt at actually doing a proper vegetable garden. We didn't do too bad. You see the last remnants of the pea plants and the bean plants on the left, more bean plants. They're coming along nicely in the middle. Some less than spectacular results with a few things on the right inside the tires, and then tomatoes and peppers. I'll give you a bit more of a report, hopefully in a future video, on how this all worked out. But the last few weeks have been a bit of a challenge. A lot of it is again because of the medication, but some of it for other reasons. So now, taking a stroll by one of our favorite places. We haven't really used this much this year because I'm so sensitive to various things like heat and cold, but get a really nice view right now of the sunrise. And Sharon started giving a facelift to our outdoor fireplace. So this was all handmade by a previous owner, and it brings a life and warmth to our evenings. Actually, throughout the year, we come out here in the winter as well. Here's our woods. Come around the back. So this is not an area that Sharon likes to show off too much. I actually love this area because this kind of gives a sense of sort of some of the subtleties of dealing with an off-grid sustainable home. So it kind of looks like a big messy area with lots of unfinished or decaying buildings, but I just want to kind of start here. A little while ago, we were having a chat with our neighbors, Lori and Jerry, and I had expressed my concerns about my ability to deal with the firewood situation for the upcoming winter. You may know that we actually have to harvest our own firewood from these trees that you see behind you, and a lot of that work happens during the autumn, and that's going to be at the tail end of my treatment. And I really was not sure whether I would be strong enough, and Sharon's skills with chainsaws and axes are not developed well enough yet. They will be, but not quite yet. Anyways, after our comment, when we came up one weekend, we noticed this. Jerry and Lori and Lori's brother Carl just dropped in one day, and they did the work for us and filled 2 of our wood sheds. This is a remarkable act of generosity on their part, and it really does help. And one of the things that I'm looking forward to when this all passes is getting back to work on the house. I am feeling much better now. The crappiness that I felt before, it's passing, I think, for a couple of reasons. One, just the natural rhythms of each cycle. I am now passing out of the 3rd phase, but more importantly, I can finally see the end of the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel. Following this cycle, I have one more. And to me, that last cycle is it's not like having a cycle at all, because I know it ends. And so following that one, I then go into actual recovery mode where I can look forward to feeling better instead of feeling crappy again. And that from just a basic motivation point of view and a wellness point of view is huge. And so I'm really looking forward to that, to the extent that I'm thinking about things. And I want to show you one more thing that is a fun project for me, and it's also quite important actually. So this huge, ugly thing that is kind of tethered precariously to wires, by wires to the roof, is actually a diversion of rainwater that kind of misses the mark, that just flies off of the roof during a heavy rain fall. And what was happening was that rain would accumulate in a corner of the property and then seep into the house, causing a bit of a mess on the inside. There's a bunch of reasons why that was the case. This is a brand new roof, and the way we decided to construct the roof using sustainable techniques, it just, in some weird ways, was unavoidable. So now we have to figure out a fix for this. Now, one of the reasons why we take so much care with water is because we don't have a well here. We do not take groundwater, nor are we connected to any source from the municipality, nor do we have a body of water. That lake that you saw earlier is about 2 kilometers away, a little too far for us to put a line into. So basically we catch rain from these roofs, and then we filter it. We store it, and then we filter it through multiple stages, and most of it goes to our own consumption. But when we started working with our garden, what we found was we don't have enough water. And in fact, last year was disastrous for us, that our garden really did not survive. This year, because of these, you can see the cascade of water barrels, they fill up and then dump into each next barrel, creating a bit of a filtering effect. So we implemented that, and that has saved our garden for this year. And you saw some of the initial results earlier. Now, because we do all of this, rather than just trying to fix the roof in some way so that the water stops, our preference is to actually try to store the water so that we can use it. And that's really what this ugly mess is about. And so something that I'm really looking forward to is fixing that. It's not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but I still have a lot of time for me to think about stuff. I'm going to start getting stronger in about a month's time frame, and hopefully that will give me enough strength to take on this little challenge and to restart my my active, if not creative, side of things. And finally, I'd mentioned before that there were a couple of reasons why I've been a bit slow in getting new videos out, and unfortunately, one of the reasons is the untimely passing of a couple of friends from this disease over the last couple of weeks. People who are actually younger than I am, but who encountered a much more severe form of this disease, and that kind of put my mind into a bit of a tailspin, not surprisingly, and not really knowing how best I should tell my own story while being respectful to these others. But in any case, Anne Bourne, Darren Redfern, two people that we've known for a long time. They passed away. Very special people in many different ways, and all of us will miss them tremendously. But in some odd way, their passing did help me to collect my own thoughts on what I'm going through. And again, I'm very fortunate that pretty much guaranteed that I will see many more days following my treatment. And it gives me some strength to get back, to get off my rear end and get back to doing something that's more constructive for me and hopefully a little bit more helpful to other people. So thank you, Anne and Darren, for everything that you've done over your all too short lives, and thanks to all of you for your continued expressions of support for me, for watching these crazy videos and indulging me as I explore yet something else. And hopefully we can have more and more into the future, and who knows what's going to happen once I actually start feeling better for the long term. So take care. Bye.